Hello, we are going to, hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the topics number five, and we are going to start with American values. What is American values? Okay, American values as is like a strong traditions, culture that as American their value in the United States, there are also important American values. American values are the things that are most important to Americans. For example, here we have independence. That is one of the main American values. Independence is sometimes referred to as a individualism. Americans are very proud of being self-reliant or being able to take care of themselves, and they tend to think others should be self-reliant as well. When someone reach reaches or goal, that is typically seen as the result of this or her own hard work. There are here I will give you some example of independence. For example, American children tend to leave the home early than in other culture, as we have discussed in class. For example, after graduating high school, many children move out to go to school or start working. If they continue to live at home, they might be asked to pay rent or contribute to the house. Americans expect anyone who is able to work to do so in order to support themselves. And okay, another American value is privacy. American values privacy and their own space. While in some culture, like an Honduras culture, like an okay, I no. While in some culture, waiting privacy may be as bad thing, that is not happening in Honduras culture. Many Americans like to have a long time and maybe privacy about certain topic. And what side of topic? For example, in conversation, many Americans are private about certain things and do not want to talk about them, such as their age, how much money they make, or their political, sexual, and religion views. Some people do not like talking about this subject in public because they are worried it will be cause people to urge. However, if you have question about this topic, you can ask us. Most American will be happy teach you about how American view the world. Okay, American often give each other more space in public situation than people in other cultures. They tend to stand with a bit of a space between them. Typically, they distance of all strangers are. Um, Another American value is equality. As we have read the USS Declaration of Independence, all men are created equal. In reality, some people in the United States do not always treat all citizens equally, but many Americans feel very strongly about the idea or equality. There are many examples in American history where all the people were not treated equally, such as slavery of African American, black citizens. However, Americans like to believe the idea that all the people should have equal opportunities. This idea it is part of what is called the American dreams. Many early immigration moved to America to follow the American dreams, and they believed that if you work hard, you could move up in society. For example, one example of equality is in legal situation. All the Americans should be treated equally, and all the Americans have a right representation by a lawyer. In a classroom, all the students should be treated equally by their teacher. Not students should be favored. Men and women should be treated equally too. Are not viewed as better than women. In reality, many women still do not have the same status or as a man in American society, especially in terms of how much money they can make. Okay, and another American values is informality. Um, Informality is like American society is offering formal and relaxed clothes. American may dress casually, such as wearing jeans or short, even at work, school, or short. When you first start your job, it is a good idea to dress more formally and then to choose your attire base. When Americans tend to call each other by their first name. In some situations, however, it is the better to be more formal and to use the last name until you are asked to use the first name. For example, in a business situation or at a school. Another American values, and the last, is that competition in business is due to, in large part of the capitalist economy. Americans' business model is to compete for customer and for the best prices. American may also compete with themselves. Many Americans work hard to keep improving what they do. For example, they may want to run a race faster and they did last time, or they maybe want to sell more items at their job than they did the years before. Okay, this is all for me, and we are going to continue with my classmate Laura with another
Well,
topic.
I'm going to talk about the migration and minorities. When we talk about immigration and minorities, mean of a group of people that live in a country. In this case, we talk about of immigrants that are all those people who comes to live permanently in a foreign country. Therefore, immigration means an international movement of people to a country where they are not. Now, I'm going to mention two aspects that immigrants present problems. The first is economic aspects. According with some economists, they say that the economic aspects in immigration have been an average and a small aspect in benefits to the native population. That means that the immigrant population do all those works that sometimes American people don't do it. such as constructions, housekeeper, cleaning, cooking, and restaurants, etc. But also, all cultural diversity has a net positive effect on the productivity of Native Americans, because according with these economies, the net social impact of substantially sorry the net social impact in an immigrant over his or her lifetime of substantially and unpredictably weighs on the immigrants' age, education, and migratory status. Now, the second aspect is education. Sometimes many immigrants suffer discrimination in the schools or universities. The principal victims are the Asian, Black, African Americans, and Latino kids or youngs, because the quality of instructions in the education, it usually be reduced of the influx of them. Now I'm going to talk about a big problem that sadly happens in the United States. Um, that is racism, but in a specific way, racism in Latin community. As we know, these minority groups live of their countries for many situations like corruption, wars, poverty, etc., and go to the United States to have a better life and great opportunities of work or education, so to that in their countries couldn't find them. Among the most common discrimination in the Latin community, we have sometimes Latinos be called with offensive name. Americans tell that they must go back to their countries, or even immigrants are criticized for speaking Spanish in public. Now, Elisa will continue with other aspects in this topic.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elisa Guzman, and I'm going to share a little bit more about this important topic, which is minorities and also immigration, right? Well, so as we already know, a minority is a culturally, ethnically, or racially separated group, okay, which can be like subordinate to a more dominant group. So in this case, I'm going to share the aspects about the child care that some of the minorities have issues with. Now, it's been said that the low income on single mothers in Pasadena are being given lower priority because they have lower incomes. And this frequently happens with Black skin mothers. And it's not the same that within the Asian mothers or even Latino mothers. So another study that is very popular through that a not-for-profit, non-governmental organization calls itself the National Academy of Medicine are saying that Black people are having a lot of disproportionately lives because they are not being treated that well as a white population. For example, sorry, they are not well taken care of, or their babies, as if they were white. And they don't know why this happened, but this is, well, in my opinion, this will be like the group that it's in that doesn't have any advantage. And also we have the Asian population and the Latino population. There are several claims about this issue when we talk about housing, when we talk about incomes, and also when we talk about the workforce. It's been said that this country has been built because of the immigrant force, okay? What they have done for this country all of these years since they began to come to America in this case. So some people say that the Chinese are the ones that are having like less issues when it's about getting a job, getting a house, or like doing something else, because they say that for all the immigrants, like force that has come to America, that is the one that has less issues because they have been smarter, they can get a job better, and it's not the same as if they were Black. Black people is currently having a lot of issues. They're dying because of diabetes, heart issues, and they are not having the attention that they need. And this is only one of the most important aspects that I have seen here. And in my opinion, I can see that Black people are not receiving the same quality of health. Now, let me see here. I have another aspect that I would like to share. Okay, here it is. Okay, also, there was like a big amount of Asian people who came to America in 1993. And also there was another big amount of Mexicans that came to America as well. So there was like a TV news shows which only showed the Mexican people, and they took like some horrible pictures showing that these people were coming here illegally and that they didn't deserve to be in the country. So inside of America, there is like this issue of which minority has a better acceptance. In my opinion, the ones that are having a really hard time are the Black people, because they are being like they are facing, I'm sorry, a lot of issues like racism, and also they don't get jobs. I don't know what's the reason because of that, but most likely Latino population and Asian population are the ones that are having more opportunities. And this is what I found about housing and job and income. The ones that are having the lower income, it's once again the Black people of this country, and the ones that are having the best paid in this case will be the Asian immigrants, which are not called immigrants because of the aspects that I mentioned before. Even if they are a big amount of people who came to America, they are not considered as immigrants for some reason. So this is a really important aspect and something that we need to see. And that will be all of my participation.
Okay, continue with
Hello,
Carol. Hello.
hello, good night. Today we're going to talk a little bit of consumerism. Well, I want to start talking or telling you that consumerism is the idea that increasing the consumption of goods and services purchased in the market. And this is always a desirable goal. So we're going, in my opinion, consumerism is the theory that individuals who consume goods and services in large quantities will be better off. Some economists believe that consumer spending stimulates production and economic growth, but we consumerism has been widely criticized for its economy, social, environmental, and psychological consequences. In common use, in the way we can understand in consumerism, consumerism refers to the tendency of people living in a capitalist economy to engage in a lifestyle of excessive materialism. The result around reflexive, wasteful, or conspicuous overconsumption. In this sense, consumerism is widely understood to contribute to the destruction of traditional values and ways of life. Consumer exploitation by big businesses, environmental degradation, and negative psychological effects. We have one a one method